Good day, traders. 1 minute mindset reset. Today we're talking about that there is no right or wrong way to trade as long as you're making money. Now, the way that I trade is a very specific approach that I have fine-tuned for myself over time based on my own experience, things I've learned, some mental shifts in terms of how to really scale the trading account up in size and how to hold on to it and how to not damage it and blow it up, which I spent a lot of time doing on the way up and learning. And, a lot of traders have different ideas that work for them in the markets. And one of the things that I always reiterate in all of my videos is that if you have something that's making you money, keep doing it. But if you have a problem or you're not consistent or you don't have the understanding of actually scalable setups versus just, taking trades and getting pips, that's a real problem. Because one of my fundamental breakthroughs, I talked about Alex Temez and Bao and learning from Alex. And one of the things he did was, he trades stocks in the US, but he focuses on certain setups and he, learned how to scale those up and just rinse and repeat. And one of the things that really impacted my trading was focusing on exactly that. And then really identifying which specific trades, how they evolved, how they set up, where you could really pile in size. And that made all the difference in the world. All the other learning, education, knowledge, all of that means nothing if you are just chasing pips every week in hopes that one day you'll make a lot of money. You really have to get specific. You have to get very, very specific about what your end result is. And of course, most traders believe their end result is to make a lot of money, except that they're not actually trading in a way that aligns that. They believe that they'll be trading so big at one point that they'll make a lot of money. But you see, they never get there because they end up trying to trade movement, all the movements in the market. And they undo all their good work because they're always trading, trying to get more pips. And ultimately, they end up blowing up their accounts over and over and over again. And if you don't believe me, ask your broker how many new accounts they recycle and how fast new traders blow up accounts. Because they'll probably be able to tell you 90% in 90 days, as we all have heard that before. So it's critical that the way that you trade for me, I'll talk about myself. It's not about what you know. It's about what you can do. It's about what you can do in live time. And we talk about this because I've made fun of it in so many videos. People want to know what your back testing results are and your MyFX book and all that, in the belief that they'll do the same thing and get the same results as long as they have your rules. The belief that they'll follow them to the T. And Richard Dennis said this, Vince Lombardi said this. I'll give you the playbook and I'll execute it so well it won't matter. But Richard Dennis said, I'll put my rules in the newspaper and people won't follow them anyways. Even the turtles had the same rules and half the turtles couldn't follow the same rules as the other turtles. Because people, when there's money on the line, and that wasn't even their own money, but when there's real money on the line, their behavior changes. And so a lot of the work that I had to do was looking at how I behaved in live time, not just trading with money, but trading with real money that made a difference to me, and then making that money and losing it, and making more money and losing it, and trading bigger and bigger and bigger and losing bigger and bigger and bigger, because still not having the concept of locking it in, getting off the screen, the belief to keep trading to get more, no hardcore set and cut rules that was designed to control not only your mindset, but your behavior in live time, and based on an understanding about yourself and how the markets work. So it's critical that you have simple rules that you adhere to, and you not only just have these rules, but they're designed around you and how you behave and how you process information. Simple reproducible setups based at certain times for me. A lot of traders see certain trades and they're like, well, how did you see that? And it's because that's what I'm looking for at a very specific place at a very specific time. And then I'm going to get out and I might have one other trade or so, but then I'm done. because I know that I don't want to hang around. If I hang around, I know there's other moves, but I know there's other things that I could do, or I might trade what I think is another move and then I'm wrong, and then I give it back. So I take certain trades that hit my 90% criteria and I execute them, and then I walk away. And then the money's in my account and not the broker's account. Then I go on about my day, and then I come back later and I look at the charts, I look at the day, the next morning I look at the setups again. At a very specific time, I'm looking for very specific setups. I'm looking for 3-day setups. I'm looking for high of the day, low of the day setups. I'm looking for high of the week, low of the week setups. I'm looking for geometrical ranges. I'm looking for low-hanging fruit, easy continuation trades. That's it. And they have the same appearance over and over and over again. You've seen my charts. Most of the trades are identical. They're all the same. They're just a different day. So however you're making money is great. And if you want to make real money, keep peeling back the onion to identify, I mean real money, because there's no limits. There's traders who are making several $1 million a year because they figured out what they need to do, when they need to do it, and they do it with as much size as they can handle, and then they do it again the next time. So when you try to, you can argue with yourself, but if you have things nailed down and peeled back to your highest probability setups, you won't have any issues. If you haven't done that, you're going to keep saying stuff like, why didn't this trade work? Oh, it all looks good in hindsight. Or, how did you see that? If you haven't picked at least one setup, and I don't mean a directional movement that went from A to B, I'm talking about a setup that you can base on time, the day, the high and the low, the reproducibility, whether that's you're using your indicators, no indicators, price and time, levels, whatever that is. Figure out one thing that is an explosive, reproducible setup. Figure out how often it shows up. Figure out how many instruments show that. Figure out which session you're going to be trading and how often it shows up in that session. And then learn to find that once, twice, 3, 5 times a week, and scale it up bigger and bigger and bigger, and to the point where you only need one a month because it makes you so much money, you only need that one setup. So the simpler you make it based on how you behave and interpret information and the actual setup itself and the reliability of that setup, the sooner your trading becomes so much easier, it's not even an issue. So keep it going, traders. Again, I don't know, a lot of you have been following me for years now, and every day, every week, there's plenty of great trades. So keep it simple. It's going to be a big week. Already has been. It's only day 2. And may the markets go with you.